You know me, I toured most of the districts when I was here. Uh, Enjoyed meeting each and every one of you. Appreciate everything you do. All the support you gave me while I lived here, support you gave the BOR office in their endeavors. I'm here to talk to you today about the ESA, the National Environmental Policy Act. It's kind of a look before you leave for agencies. It asks them to take kind of a hard look at the impacts, environmental, societal impacts to a project action that they want to take. There are some that are fairly simple, what we call categorical exclusions or records of environmental consideration. What those kind of look like are, an example might be, I want to put a parking garage over here on less than 5 acres of previously disturbed land, non-controversial. The agency can go ahead and take that action and report it. If it has the potential to have a significant impact on the environment, they start what's called an environmental assessment. They start to look at alternatives to the preferred alternative. They analyze those alternatives. And if it's not going to really pose a significant impact to the environment, they go through what's called the finding of no significant impact and a record of decision. If it's going to be very significant, whatever that action is going to be, to the environment, they utilize, or they're going to be changing their authorities, go through rulemaking, things of that nature, new programs. What they like to do is do an environmental impact statement, which is a very lengthy process. All of these, particularly the EA and the EIS, have what is the public participation in them. EA allows the agency to really decide when the public participates. EIS, they have a process they go through. It's kind of there's a notice of intent to prepare that gets filed in a federal record. Sometimes they'll email the public to participate, public scoping sessions potentially. But all of this allows the public to provide their input into what the agency says is the potential action they're going to undertake, and let them comment on it, and they respond to those comments. Do they have to change that action, that preferred alternative? No, they absolutely do not. It doesn't say that they have to. It doesn't mandate that they do. But really, it's that, and I've been in quite a few of them in different agencies where we actually have a conference room and we sit down and we listen to the public comment on what our action is that we're going to undertake, more than likely. Some actions do get modified or changed based on public involvement, but that to me is the most powerful component of NEPA, is allowing the public to be able to speak to what it is we're going to be doing, helping us shape it. And to me, that is really the importance of the NEPA process that every agency is charged to undertake. Each agency implements it and has categorical exclusions and triggers for EAs and mandatory triggers for EISs. You can go to CEQ's website, you can go to Fed Connect, and you can actually find out who you can contact in each federal agency that basically processes, their NEPA actions. Something else that I think is very important. There is NEPA oversight, and there's 3 federal agencies that have specific responsibilities for NEPA. One's the CEQ, the other is the EPA Office of Federal Activities, and the other is the U.S. Institute for Environmental Conflict Resolution. You can contact them. So, their primary responsibility is to ensure that federal agencies meet their obligation under the Act, oversee implementation of NEPA, principally through the issuance and interpretation of NEPA regulations that implement the procedural requirements of NEPA. So how many have read, NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act? How many have participated in a public forum for an EA or an EIS in this basin? Thank you. So I think, what I think the power of NEPA is, or really how it helps harmonize ESA and NEPA, is to ensure that we're not regulating to regulate, things that we shouldn't. It's so that we're looking at other things that we may not see, or asking questions that we may not have asked had the public not participated. I told Lucas I wouldn't call him out. I'm going to call him out in a good way. I appreciate everything that I've learned from Lucas. He and I have known each other for a while now, maybe a minute. But Lucas and I worked hand in hand to really create some interesting strategies for DoD, particularly at Fort Sam Houston back in 2007. And I left, and as Lucas tells the story, I'm gone about every 5 years. But, again, NEPA is a process. Every federal agency follows that process, or should. How they do it is totally up to them. It is that Public Participation Act, that public-facing provision in NEPA that allows the public to participate and ask some hard questions. You may not change the outcome of what that preferred alternative may be, but you at least got to participate. You may not like it, may not agree with it wholly or in part, but you did participate. And with that, I won't take any questions. My NEPA's kind of short and sweet to me. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me after this, we get to the panel discussion, and later I'm in town all week.